What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P here. And we got some news. We got some news for today. And the question is, will that news be beneficial to you as a Detroit Lions fan as the season approaches? We are in the offseason, yes, but rookie minicamp is coming up very shortly. As of this video being recorded, rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. But our news today is not about rookie minicamp. Our news is pertaining to the pass rush. Yes, because another option has become available. Now, can you say Jadeveon, kids? Can you say Jadeveon? Jadeveon. Yes, that's right. Now, can Brad Holmes say Jadeveon? Can Brad Holmes say Jadeveon when he picks up the phone to call Jadeveon Clowney's agent? That's right. I said you're calling his agent. You're not calling his team. You're not calling the Carolina Panthers, asking them what they would like. Is he available on the open market? Can you swap some draft picks for him? Do you want some players? What's going to be all of that information? You don't need none of that. You don't need none of that. Why? Because the Carolina Panthers earlier today cut Jadeveon Clowney. They released him. Now they were trying to save $7 million something in salary cap, and they let him go. So now he can go to any team he would like. Any team that picks up that phone and talks to his agent, and his agent says, okay, we got a deal. Jadeveon Clowney will be signing with your team. That is where we are today. Now, I understand that there have been some things that have been dogging him his entire career. But sometimes people just act like he hasn't been productive. Sometimes people act like he's been a bum. Oh, because he's got this rap about his motor. Okay, cool. His motor has gotten you 9+ sacks multiple times, multiple years. And we'll go through all those things. Does Jadeveon Clowney fit what the Detroit Lions like to do? Yes, he does. What happened with Donovan Ezraku? Oh, Donovan Ezraku was too short. What happened with Josiah Stewart? Oh, Josiah Stewart was too short. They're not the kind of people that the Detroit Lions are going to sign. Oh, they're just speed rushers. They're designated pass rush type of guys. They can't play against the run. How much did they weigh? Oh, they were too light. What happened with Mike Green? Other than the allegations? Okay, and I know those were some serious allegations, and a lot of teams took him off the draft board because they weren't satisfied with his explanation of how the allegations took place. What was the story? They weren't satisfied with it. This is why he lasted all the way into the third round. He was looked at as a top 10 pick going into the league or going into the draft, and he got drafted in the third round. It's very similar to Lyle Collins, but Lyle Collins had a murder case, and he dropped all the way to the 7th, and the Cowboys took him. He was supposed to be top 10 as well. But what happened with Mike Green, other than the allegations and all the off the field stuff? He was 245 pounds. What happened with James Pierce? Well, apparently he was supposed to be this really, really bad guy who's a terrible teammate, who's uncoachable and all these things, and we weren't going to draft him anyway. He was 6'5", but he was 245. He was too light. Jadeveon Clowney's main character concern is that he doesn't have the motor. Okay, when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, he balled out. He had a bunch of dogs alongside him on that defensive line. He balled out. He did what they asked him to do. That Ravens defense was awesome. With 2023 Ravens, go look it up. Okay? But if we're talking about what is he able to do as far as the scheme? He's a big dude, is able to crush the pocket, and he'll get you some sacks. He'll finish. He gets you production. He produces. He doesn't just get pressures. He gets sacks. A lot of people around here talking about, oh, well, we got Josh Pascal. We got Levi Onwuzurike. We're good. A lot of people are talking about how many sacks or pressures. It doesn't matter if you get sacks. The pressures are what counts, because the pressures can lead to turnovers. They can. But you know what a sack leads to? The end of the play. That's what a sack leads to. The end of the play. And generally a large loss of yards. If that quarterback's not climbing that pocket, you're going to lose 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. So Jadeveon Clowney, again, we said Donovan Ezeraku is too short because he's 6'2". How about 6'5" for Jadeveon Clowney? We talked about Donovan Ezeraku is too light. He's only 247, whatever may have you. How about 266 for Jadeveon Clowney? Jadeveon Clowney is Marcus Davenport if Marcus Davenport was healthy. Right? Jadeveon Clowney has the same ability as Marcus Davenport does. Jadeveon Clowney plays games, though. He stays on the field. Durability hasn't been the issue with Jadeveon Clowney. So there's been this narrative, and he's bounced around. He's been on a lot of teams. But he was drafted by the Houston Texans. And he played, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years with the Houston Texans. Right? So he played all the way through his 5 years, and they picked up his 5th year option. He played all of them. Okay. Now, since then, he bounced around. He played with the Seahawks. He played with the Titans. He played with the Browns for 2 years. He played with the Ravens for a year, and he played with the Panthers for a year. Just last year, he did sign a two-year, $20 million contract. So maybe if Brad Holmes isn't picking up the phone, it's because of the contract. I don't want to hear anything about motor. I don't want to hear anything about that because the production is there. We talked about his production. His rookie season in 2014, he didn't have any sacks. Right? And he only had 7 combined tackles. So go back and look at 2014 as to why those were the numbers. Okay. He played with J.J. Watt. And after that, he had 4.5, 6, 9.5, and 9 sacks for the Houston Texans. 40 tackles, 52 tackles, 59 tackles, and 47 tackles for the Houston Texans. Go back and look what happened his rookie year. Go back and see why he had very limited production and then shot out of the gates for the next 4 years. Go back. Right? With the Seahawks in 2019, he gave you 3 sacks. With the Titans, it's the Titans. He didn't have any sacks. That's the only time, his second time in his professional career, that he didn't have a sack in a season. With the Browns in 2021, he gave you 9 sacks. With the Browns in 2022, he gave you 2 sacks. It's the Browns. I was surprised he got 9 sacks the first year. It's the Browns. But then with the Ravens, he gave you 9.5 sacks in 2023. And just last year with the Panthers, he gave you 5.5 sacks. But guess what he also gave you with the Ravens and the Panthers? With the Ravens, he gave you 43 tackles. With the Panthers, he gave you 46 tackles. He gets production off of the edge. Yes, he does. And this is what we need. Levi Onwuzurike would never give you 9.5 sacks. I don't care what you say, because the tape don't lie. He gets the pressures. That's great. Pressures are cute. I'm not in the pressure business. I'm in the sack business. The pressures can lead to turnovers. Sacks definitely lead to the end of the play. Also, they can lead to turnovers as well. You can strip sack somebody. So if we want to talk about, well, we're good because we got guys that get a lot of pressures. Josh Pascal gave you 1 sack for the entire season. El Quadim Muhammad gave you 3. El Qadim Muhammad was a practice squad guy that wasn't on the roster at the beginning of the season, and he came in and gave you 3. Josh Pascal gave you 1. Levi Onwuzurike gave you 3 half sacks. El Qadim Muhammad outproduced all of those guys, and that's when everybody was hurt. El Qadim Muhammad came on as the injuries piled up and piled up. Hutch was already hurt. Yes, we have injuries, and people are coming back from injury. If we're trying to believe that Marcus Davenport is going to be that guy, we need to stop it. Marcus Davenport is an absolute dog when he's healthy. He's just never healthy. You pick up Jadeveon Clowney, you put him in a rotation with Marcus Davenport. They're the same body type. Marcus Davenport is 6'6". Jadeveon Clowney is 6'5". Marcus Davenport, I believe, is 260. He might be a little bit more. Jadeveon Clowney is 266. Same body type. The type of body, pause, that the Detroit Lions love. The type of body, pause, that the Detroit Lions covet. The production is there. The best season that Marcus Davenport gave you in his career, he got 9 sacks. The best season that he gave you, and he did it in 11 games. Jadeveon Clowney has gotten 9 or more sacks 1, 2, 3, 4 times in his career. Marcus Davenport's done it once. So is this not the perfect running mate for Aidan Hutchinson? A guy that can win one-on-ones, a guy that lives in the backfield getting tackles for loss. Y'all all saw it. The Vincent Smith thing. Shout out Vincent Smith. U of M, go blue. That's how you knew he could play the run. But he hasn't just lived off of that. A lot of people think, oh, it's that he lived off of that hit. Why does he keep getting contracts? Because he keeps producing. You saw the numbers. There are a couple of off years where he played with really bad teams. He still gave you 5.5 sacks on the Panthers last year, who weren't doing anything. They weren't going to do anything. They weren't competing for anything. He still gave you 5.5 sacks. He's 32 years old, yes. So is Zadarius Smith. And if you're being honest, Zadarius Smith gave you 9 sacks last year. Jadeveon Clowney is better against the run than Zadarius Smith. So bring me Jadeveon Clowney, bro. Oh, and by the way, Jadeveon Clowney runs a 4.5 340. A defensive end who's 6'5", 266 pounds that runs a 4.5 340. He can help with Lamar Jackson this year. He can help with Jalen Hurts this year. He can help with Jaden Daniels this year. He can help twice this year with Jordan Love. He can help twice this year with Caleb Williams. He can help this year with Patrick Mahomes. He can help you corral Joe Burrow. Hell, he played against Joe Burrow twice. Joe Burrow hasn't beaten Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying, anybody that doesn't want Jadeveon Clowney on this team because they think that we have a better option in Marcus Davenport, you're wrong. You need to have your head examined. Brad Holmes, let me talk to you, Brad. Brad, this your cousin. This your cousin, Motor City Don P. I'm just trying to tell you, Brad. Now, I know you've been in the press conferences talking about, not the press conference. Well, at press conferences, and you've been on the radio talking about, the fans are mad because they want another Hutch. Brad, we're not asking you for another Hutch. We're not. We're asking you for a Jadeveon Clowney. A guy that can be a significant Robin to Hutch's Batman. That's all we're asking you for. We're asking you to pick up the phone and do your due diligence. Now, I know you're going to pick up the phone and do your due diligence because you told us. You told us at the press conference that it was a never-ending, situation where you're trying to build a team. It doesn't stop. You always got a job to do. You are calling around, you're asking, you're doing your due diligence and your work on everybody. Maybe you did your work on Jadeveon Clowney before while he was a free agent multiple times. Do some work again. Call his agent again. Call his agent and see if he wants to come ring chase. Because I'm sure he does. I'm sure you don't go from the Ravens in 2023 to the Panthers in 2024 unless you get that 2-year, $20 million deal. Who knows how much of it was guaranteed? But if you think that he can't be brought in on a 1-year, $7, $8, $9 million deal with incentives to say, if you get X amount of sacks, you give me 9 sacks. If you give me 9.5, you give me 10, you get this much. I'll throw in however many million. Because if he's motivated by money, right, and he doesn't have the motor or whatever the case may be, you say, all right, you get 10 sacks and I'll give you 3 extra million. Damn sure he's going to bring his A game every day, every week, because he wants those 10 sacks, because he wants those 2-3 extra million. You can be sure of that. So make sure that Jadeveon Clowney is a Detroit Lion heading into training camp. Bring Jadeveon home. That's all I got for y'all today, man. If you have comments, if you have concerns, I hope you do. Get your comments in. Get your comments in, especially if you want to talk to me about how who we have on the roster outside of Hutch is better than Jadeveon Clowney right now. 32-year-old Jadeveon Clowney. Who's better than him on our roster right now? Today. I ain't talking about in a couple years. I ain't talking about in 3 years because he's not going to be on the team at that point. Today, who is better? Who's a better option today than Jadeveon Clowney? Let me know in the comments below. That is all the time that I have for today. The Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace. What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P here. Listen, if you want to continue keeping your Lions news pragmatic, if you want to keep getting the stats and not none of that static, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share and let everybody know what's going on around here. And turn on your notifications, because how else would you know that we're up in here keeping your Lions news pragmatic? Appreciate you once again, and we are out. Peace.